Okay, so I got the oil pan and timing chain cover back on the engine with the new gaskets, and now I'm getting ready to insert the fuel rails. I built these up with new injectors as I showed in a previous video. They have the little tulip, the blue seals on the top there that correspond with the holes in the head. So these were quite a challenge to get these fuel rails out. So what I'm going to do is coat each of the injector tip gaskets with some clean motor oil, just lightly, just to give it some lube to slide into the hole easily, so we don't want to tear those gaskets. So then I'm going to just gently work them in. I may get a Q-tip and actually swab the inside of those holes to give it a little bit extra help going in. And I'm gonna put the camera on the tripod and we'll do that now. Here, just handle each. These holes. There's a swab around these holes. One of those injectors had, one of the clips had gotten misaligned, so to give it a little bit of persuasion. So what I'm gonna do is just lightly work these things in with the ratchet. You don't want to move, you want them to kind of all go down the same amount of distance each time, so you're not going to stress any of the connections or the fuel line, or the fuel rail, I should say. Those are all bottomed out nice and even. So we will come back with a torque wrench and torque them appropriately once I get the other side seated, but everything's in there nice and straight, nothing broke. Very important to just take your time and do this slowly. Yeah, I'm verifying all my clips are where they belong. Doing these by hand because I want to kind of feel that they have the same amount of tension on each one as they're going down the the air or the electric ratchet won't let you get that tactile sort of sense of what you're doing here. So it'll take a little longer and do it right. Last thing I want is 1,000 PSI fuel leak under the hood of my truck when I'm going down the road. Okay, everything bottomed out pretty much the same time. Again, we're going to come back into the torque wrench and get these properly, but now they are all the way in. None of the clips were disturbed, so everything's good. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put the high pressure fuel pump back in. So this right here is a tool that you need. You can get it on Amazon. It's like $9. But what it does is it verifies this fuel pump's driven off of a lobe on the camshaft, kind of like the old school small blocks. So what you need to do is you need to make sure with this tool that it's sitting flush so that you're not binding the push rod on the fuel pump itself. So the engine has to be at number 1 top dead center and or number 6 top dead center, I think, for this to work. But basically you're just verifying that that's sitting flush. And then the fuel pump, you can set it into place, and the spring is going to keep it from sitting all the way down. But that's how you verify before you start torquing on it. You don't want it to be all the way, you know, halfway up and at a weird angle. So the other important piece here is you've got a bracket, and what this is for, it goes on top of the fuel pump. Okay, so what I ended up having to do is take this wiring back out of the tree, and when you set this bracket is actually very important. It's in case you get in a collision and it drives the engine back into the firewall. This is supposed to help prevent the fuel system from being compromised in a heavy front end accident. Okay, I've got it into place. I had to remove the plastic bracket here to get clearance for the shield to go into place, and the bolts are finger tight. I did put the gasket under there, so now the goal is just to slowly tighten each side until it goes down flush, and then torque it to spec. Okay, so we probably spent too long on that, but anyway, now the wiring loom is properly secured to the tab on the fuel rail, which had to give it a little bit of love with some pliers, but everything's fine now, and it's torqued down, and it's got the shields back on there, and we are ready to reconnect. Okay, so now we're at this stage. You notice we didn't hit any wiring. We took our time, didn't snag anything. With it, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put the motor mount on for the driver's side, and I am going to put on the exhaust manifold. If I had put them on before setting it in the truck, it wouldn't have had enough clearance to get in there in the engine bay as elegantly as I did. And as you can tell, I'm doing this by myself. I mean, if you have two people, you can do a little more dressing on the engine before you put it in. But in this case, doing it solo, this is the best way to go.